At 46 years old, Manny Pacquiao is taking one more swing at boxing's glory. He's fought more world champions than most boxers could name, let alone dream of facing. Now, stepping back into the ring with the world watching, his legacy is already cemented, but Pacquiao is looking for one more shot at greatness. But not everyone is convinced this is a good idea. Bob Arum, the legendary promoter who helped shape Pacquiao into a global superstar, has expressed his thoughts about the comeback, and his words have stirred up excitement, concern, and maybe even a touch of heartbreak. This isn't just another veteran returning for a quick paycheck. No, this is Manny Pacquiao, a fighter who has made history and who now stands on the precipice of a risky, potentially dangerous return. When Arum speaks, the boxing world listens, and what he's saying is more than just a prediction, it's a warning. For Pacquiao, this isn't about chasing money or fame. This is about rewriting history. If he wins, he won't just become the oldest welterweight champion in history, he'll become the living proof that time doesn't beat every legend. While many comebacks seem like vanity projects or desperate attempts to recapture lost glory, Pacquiao's return feels different. It's not a novelty, not an exhibition match. He's stepping into a sanctioned fight against Mario Barrios, the reigning WBC world champion. Barrios is younger, faster, and carries the momentum of a fighter who's still on the rise. And at the heart of this comeback is Bob Arum, the man who helped shape Pacquiao's rise from a young, hungry fighter to a worldwide icon. But now, Arum isn't just talking about promoting a fight. He's speaking with the weight of someone who has witnessed firsthand the dangers of pushing too far, too soon. This fight is about more than just the title, it's a battle between legacy and reality, between nostalgia and consequence. When Arum breaks his silence, it's because he knows what's at stake. This is a crossroads for Pacquiao, where the echoes of his past triumphs meet the harsh realities of today's boxing world. It's not just a fight against a younger, faster opponent. It's a fight against the very idea of time itself. It all started quietly, not with a press conference or an announcement, but with a subtle shift in Pacquiao's attitude. After retiring in 2021, he seemed to still carry the spirit of the ring with him. It was as though every round he fought still echoed in his body, calling him back. He wasn't looking for another paycheck, nor was he after the fame. Something felt unfinished, something still tugged at him, and despite trying to build a new legacy in politics, the fighter inside him never truly went away. The world had thought the final chapter of his story had already been written, but Pacquiao wasn't done yet. His body may have aged, but his heart still beat for the sport he had once ruled. Slowly at first, and then with increasing intensity. He began to train again, sparring, conditioning, moving like a man who had something to prove. Not to the fans or the critics, but to himself. By late 2023, whispers of Pacquiao's return began to surface. At first, the idea seemed improbable, even laughable. But soon, the whispers grew louder, and they were met with a mix of excitement and caution. Fans who had watched him dominate the ring for years felt that old spark reignite inside them. Could the Pacquiao they once knew still perform on the big stage? With Freddie Roach back in his corner and training footage showcasing his blistering speed and footwork, it was clear this wasn't some quick money grab. Pacquiao wasn't returning for nostalgia's sake. He was preparing for a real fight against a real champion. This wasn't a sideshow. This was the real deal. And whether it was foolish or fearless to return to the ring at this age was a question that would only be answered in the fight itself. The opponent, Mario Barrios, isn't just a warm-up or a glorified punching bag for Pacquiao's return. Barrios is a dangerous and disciplined WBC welterweight champion. He's younger, faster, and part of a new generation of fighters who grew up idolizing Pacquiao. Now, he's stepping into the ring, not as a fan, but as a contender who could very well retire the legend for good. Barrios may not have Pacquiao's illustrious resume, but he has something perhaps even more important: youth, hunger, and momentum. He's not a fighter who is easily intimidated, and he sees this fight as his chance to carve his name into boxing history. For many, he's considered the safer option for Pacquiao's return, but the truth is, when you're 46 and stepping into the ring after years away, there's no such thing as a safe fight. Bob Arum has seen it all. He's watched as legends rise, fall, and sometimes, tragically, fall too far. He's seen fighters push themselves past their prime, with disastrous results. That's why when Arum talks about Pacquiao's return, it isn't just a promoter speaking, it's a man who has been with Pacquiao from the very beginning, who helped turn him into the icon he is today. Arum's concerns are grounded in experience. When he spoke about Pacquiao's comeback, there was a mix of admiration and genuine concern in his voice. He wishes Pacquiao the best, but he knows better than most that when a fighter's heart is still in the game, but their body is no longer what it once was, the consequences can be devastating. He acknowledges that Pacquiao still looks sharp in training. His footwork is still fast, and his punches still have power. But training in the gym isn't the same as stepping into the ring on fight night. And no matter how much muscle memory a fighter has, once the lights go up and the punches start flying, there's no turning back. When Arum spoke about the fight, he also addressed the rumors surrounding Pacquiao's potential opponents, clarifying that the fight with Barrios is locked in. There were no fantasy matchups or media-driven speculations. This was a real fight, and in Arum's eyes, it was one that carried more than just the usual risks. He's seen too many great fighters take one fight too many, only to see their legacy tarnished in a single night. He's not questioning Pacquiao's heart or his desire to win. He's simply asking whether the risk is worth the reward. Arum has promoted thousands of fights in his career, and he knows that age is undefeated. Fighters may have the heart, but time takes its toll. It's not about how fast you can throw a punch, it's about whether you can absorb one without it leaving lasting consequences. And that's the heart of the danger Pacquiao faces. If Pacquiao wins, it will be monumental. A 46-year-old former 8-division world champion walking back into the ring and defeating a reigning WBC title holder. It would rewrite the story of longevity in combat sports, placing him in the company of legends like Bernard Hopkins and George Foreman, whose later career feats became some of their most iconic. But if Pacquiao loses, and not just in a close fight, but badly, cleanly, violently, it won't just bruise his record. It could forever alter the way his career is remembered. Fans and pundits would question why a man who had already achieved everything would risk it all for one more shot at glory. And that, Arum knows, is the real danger. He's seen fighters lose in the ring and never recover, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. For Pacquiao, the risk isn't just about a loss. It's about the potential to rewrite his legacy, not as the man who walked away on his own terms, but as the warrior who stayed in the fight one round too long. Legacy is a fragile thing. It can take 20 years to build, but one night can shake it loose. And yet, that's the exact kind of danger that makes legends come back in the first place. Because for Pacquiao, greatness has never been measured by safety. It's always been about how close you're willing to get to the edge and whether you can still dance there without falling. Once the news of Manny Pacquiao's return was confirmed, the reaction from the boxing world was immediate and intense. Fans who had grown up watching him dominate 8 weight classes erupted with excitement. For them, this wasn't just a comeback. It was a continuation of greatness, a chance for Pacquiao to rewrite the narrative one last time before the final curtain falls. Training footage only fueled the fire, showing glimpses of the speed, rhythm, and warrior spirit that defined Pacquiao's prime. But not everyone is celebrating. A growing chorus of realists, including former fighters, trainers, and analysts, have expressed concern. They question whether Pacquiao's comeback is really about glory or whether it's more about refusing to let go. Even the son of Mike Tyson has weighed in, expressing fears that this could follow the painful pattern of so many other legends who return for one too many comebacks, only to see their legacies forever changed. Sugar Ray Leonard has also cautioned that there's a big difference between being in shape and being fight-ready, especially after years away from real competition. The debate is fierce, with some celebrating the return of a legend and others pointing to the long list of icons who couldn't outrun time. Now, with Bob Arum joining the conversation, expressing both pride and concern, this fight has taken on a deeper meaning. It's no longer just about a title or a comeback, it's about the cost of legacy and how far one man is willing to go to protect it or risk it.